So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iPhone XR versus iPhone 11 speed test on iOS 14.6. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, 1. Now, we did see some pretty bad performance on the iPhone 11 in 14.5.1, and I promised I would redo the test when we did get on 14.6. I didn't include the iPhone 12 because in this one, this was the main phone really giving us trouble here, and the XR was actually doing a little bit better. So let's talk about the two here, the XR and the 11, how they're doing here on iOS 14.6. So the XR is slightly faster to boot up, but that doesn't mean that it's going to out benchmark the iPhone 11 in 14.6. Stay tuned to see how it does there. All right, guys, so quick spec check. On the iPhone XR, we're going to go over to Geekbench and show you we're rocking with the iOS 14.6, Apple A12 Bionic, 2.49 gigahertz and 3 gigabytes of RAM. Now over here for the iPhone 11, we're also on iOS 14.6 and Apple A13 Bionic with 2.66 gigahertz clock speed, 4 gigabytes of RAM. Now Apple did list in the notes when you were updating to 14.6 that they will improve performance on boot up as well. So the performance should be good right out of the gate now that we booted up these devices. All right, guys, so we've arrived at the app test. iPhone XR, everything closed. iPhone 11, everything closed there. Let's go into Instagram, and you can see this one is going to go to, looks like the XR. Let's go into Best Buy. You can see very similar on both devices right there. Let's head up out of there. We're gonna go into Amazon. That one looked like the Apple iPhone 11 on that one. Let's head out of there. Let's go into eBay. Which one's gonna take eBay? And looks like the 11 was maybe a hair, like a very much a hair ahead. Let's go into YouTube. And heading into YouTube, looks like the iPhone 11. Let's go into Explore. We'll go into trending here, and definitely very similar once in app. Let's go into Starbucks, and you can see this one is going to go to the left over there for the iPhone XR. We're going to go into Groupon now, and you can see Groupon is going to go to the right. We'll go to categories, and very similar on both. Let's go into ESPN. Looks like the iPhone 11 is doing better here now that we are in the iOS 14.6. Let's go into scores, and iPhone 11 maybe very close, so both doing very good here. Let's go into Mortal Kombat, but this is where the iPhone 11 was showing that it wasn't performing as well. My prior test was on the game, so can the XR beat the 11 here, or is the 11 going to beat the XR here on 14.6 when it comes to this stuff that requires a little bit more power? So weirdly enough, the XR looks to be ahead again over this iPhone 11 in Mortal Kombat. And wow, here we go again. Please don't tell me this is a repeat of the last one, of the last video. And the XR wins on the Mortal Kombat test. Oh my goodness. Let's go ahead and head up out of here. And we're going to go into PUBG Mobile. I can hear the iPhone XR users. Come on, Nick, you just don't want the XR to win. No, I don't want it to win because that phone, you know, has an older processor. You should logically expect the newer processor to win, you know? It's not that I'm not saying I don't like the XR. I love the XR. It was a great value, but the newer processor should always beat the older one. If it does, then something's up. Okay, so let's go to continue. And the iPhone 11 did win out here in PUBG, so I can shut up now because it did beat out the XR when it comes to that. And that requires a little more power than the Mortal Kombat game. To continue here, we already beat it out for the iPhone 11 though. It already was ready to load stuff up, so now we got a few things we got to collect here before we get to the match. But overall, I gotta say XR is still performing fantastic for the year of 2021. Definitely. Let's head up out of there. We're gonna go into Temple Run now, and you can see that this is gonna go to, which one's it gonna go to? I think the 11 has this by a hair. I might be wrong. Let's see. About the same, not a big deal. Let's go into Crossy Road, and let's see what's gonna go down here. Looks like the iPhone 11 by a little bit, but this is so little that you probably won't notice a big difference in performance between these two day to day. Let's go to iMovie. You will notice a performance difference in the camera though. That one's going to the 11. Let's go into Geekbench. and very close. Let's go into 3D Mark, and that one's going to the 11. So the 11 definitely has improved its performance here for iOS 14.6. It was very noticeable in PUBG, where it did horrible in the last test, and we'll have to see later in this video on the benchmarks if the 11 will take down the iPhone XR now on 14.6. All right, so let's see if we get any reloads on either phone here. Looks very good so far. Let's go into Crossy Road, very good. Temple Run, looking good here. 3 gigs of RAM on the left, 4 on the right. ESPN, looking good. Groupon, there we go with a reload for the iPhone XR. And definitely, yep, XR starting to reload stuff. The 4 gigs of RAM holding on stronger for the iPhone 11 over here. Yep, iPhone XR has lost its memory. Definitely has choked up here in this test. So XR behind here, there's where the RAM really shows why you want more RAM on a phone. And you could say, well, I don't need more, but if you're opening many applications, you're trying to get things done quickly, you're doing a bank transaction, you're buying something, you're fast on your phone. Yeah, you're gonna want a little bit more RAM for that reason. Other than that, both very good. All right, I've been doing a lot of talking. Let's see what the benchmarks say though. We're gonna go ahead and hit CPU benchmark. We'll run these at the same time, and I will be back with the final results. And hopefully the iPhone 11 can stop giving me bad results like it did on the prior edition. Okay, so that's more like an iPhone 11. We're getting more what I expect from these scores. Single core average, doing better than the average iPhone 11. The multi is a little bit low, but it's not far off. And, you know, this could be because I was just opening a ton of applications. It might be better. Now, the iPhone XR, single core, right in line. Multi-core, slightly off as well. However, I ran this test prior hand, and I got even better scores than this. The only reason I think this is happening is because we just opened like all these applications, and then we reopen them again. So they might be a little bit taxed right now, but definitely a lot better scores for, you know, overall benchmarks. So the performance, I can already say, just based on the Geekbench scores and the gaming, has been definitely updated for 14.6. And if you were like, I'm not buying an iPhone 11 because of my last video where it didn't do well with the triple iPhone comparison, I told you in the next video to relax. Like, it's gonna get better, definitely gonna get better on the next update. Apple usually fixes problems like this. Let's go into 3D Mark, and we'll see how fast or what kind of scores we can get on both of these in 3, 2, 1. All right, and final scores are in for Wildlife, and once again, both performing like I would expect here. We're getting a 4,365 for the XR. Over here a 7621. XR a little bit slower than what I would expect right now, but still, both of these are doing very good for their respective platforms. And 14.6 is definitely fixing the problems that I've seen with the iPhone 11. The XR wasn't really having too much of an issue on 14.5.1, but the 11 was. And you've seen there with that benchmark, once again, improved. Let's go ahead and run a quick iMovie export and kind of see which one can do this task a little bit faster as well. I'll be back when they are done. So yeah, iPhone 11 was a hair quicker here to render out the videos. So the A13 is back on top, I would say, for 14.6. So if you have an iPhone XR or an iPhone 11, it's safe to update to this update. You're not gonna have any major performance issues here. If you are having those, let us know down below in the comment section of this video. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you like this one, consider checking this one out right here. You might find this interesting as well. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Be sure to be well, have a great day, and peace.